Hello everybody, welcome to the webinar about studying in Germany. To my person, I will introduce myself. I'm 50 years young. I'm French-German double nationality. I'm Director of International Relations at Aalen University, and my academic background is business and economics. During my studies, I had a chance to win as well a number of scholarships from the European Union, from France regional government, and from a US-American program. I worked before being at coming to Aalen University. I worked in marketing, sales and distribution and purchasing in different companies. And so far I visited more than 40 countries all over. Why studying in Germany? And I put engineering in brackets because Germany is a typical engineering country. Would be the first point we're talking about. We will be talking as well about career opportunities. Why should you study at the German University of Applied Sciences? And why studying, for example, at Aalen University in the southern part of Germany? I will tell you, of course, it has been asked for already in the questions. I have seen that how the application process for Aalen University is. I will answer that, of course, as well. And tell you a bit more in more general terms about admission requirements of German universities. And I will tell you as well about scholarship opportunities for international students. I would like to draw your attention as well to the fact that we are part of the Federation of the Southwest Federation of Universities. It's a consortium of 7 universities in the southwest of Germany, and we have a contact office in Pune. There is Miss Betty Huber, whom you may get in touch with as well if you have got questions related to our university or to some of the other universities of the consortium. Why studying in Germany? When turning to this, first maybe let us have a short look about where Germany is. It's in the middle of Europe. Germany has got 82 million of inhabitants, and the typical ethnic group in Germany is Germans. So the largest city in Germany is Berlin. That's the capital as well. The smaller cities, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 are Hamburg, Munich, and Cologne, with 1.8 million, 1.5 million, 1.1 million. And so those cities are certainly much smaller than the largest cities in your country. Regarding religious affiliation of the population, most of the people are of Christian religion, but there are as well, of course, other religions too. Just in global comparison, shortly, Germany has a very high level of human development. It's all democracy, rule of law in Germany is high. The control of corruption is rather strong. The regulatory quality in Germany is on a high level, and there are low risks regarding political instability and threat of violence or terrorism. So it's a pretty safe country. Maybe a couple of things, cultural aspects when talking about Germany, what you should know when planning further studies in Germany. Germans like to communicate in a direct way. They are not shy and often speak freely about any issue that is that may they might be concerned with, and they like to be punctual, and nevertheless in Germany, also German is the official language. You will find in Germany as well many dialects from north to south. The dialects are a bit stronger in the southern part of Germany, but as a half French, I may say, very funny too. Germans like to network as well, and recommendations for them play an important role. Gender equality, of course, is given, and there is given much importance as well, of course, to work-life balance. Let's turn to a couple of stereotypes when thinking to go to Germany. A typical stereotype is that Germans are always complaining. They have no sense of humor. They're always on time, efficient, hardworking. A yes means yes, a no means no. And they're like some particular things. For instance, they're very much like their cars. Cars in Germany needs to be washed every Saturday, for instance, and lots of them like football. Maybe some of you know the former England striker Gary Lineker. He said football is a simple game. 20 men chase a ball for 90 minutes, and at the end the Germans always win. That was a saying which is still not always, but sometimes true. When going to Germany, there are typical things you will be confronted to. That you have certainly different kind of food. In the southern part of Germany, like in Bavaria, you will find the clothing like of dirndls and lederhosen. In their garden, Germans like to put little garden dwarfs. That's typical German. They have as well the kind of sweets, the Gummibärchen, that's made a sweet made from gelatin, Haribo, Goldbeeren. That's typical. So you have many different particularities you will find in German, but you can get acquainted with and make the experience by yourself. Let's turn shortly to the economy. When talking about the real GDP per capita, Germany is placed on the 17th place in 2018. GDP per capita means the total gross domestic product divided by the number of the population, and we are talking about $48,000 per person in Germany. India so far is more behind, but doing really well in catching up, and I'm pretty sure that India will be raising the place within a few years only. India indeed is doing, even in the terms of unemployment rate, India is doing better than Germany. As you see, the 3.5, the rate is 3.5. In Germany, it's 3.8. And in Europe and Central Asia, the average in 2017 was 7.5. Turning to the business environment, a little comparison as well here again between Germany, India, and the US. For instance, regarding the time needed to start in business, in Germany it takes about 10.5 days, in the US only 5.6. It takes somewhat longer in India, but the time, for instance, to register property is pretty much the same in India than in Germany. The same goes for the time needed to fulfill, for instance, tax requirements. However, on the other side, the time needed to resolve insolvencies is more than 3 times higher in India than in Germany. And regarding delivery, the time needed to export in Germany takes 9 days. It takes 7 days to import. Regarding customs clearance, the efficiency is higher, much higher in India in comparison to Germany and to the US. So well done here. And as I said formerly, because of the economic in India growing at a quick pace, I'm pretty sure that India will catch up very quickly in the coming years. When talking about you certainly know the made in country, made in Germany, that's somehow something like a quality index. And indeed, Germany takes the first place in the made in Germany index in that case. So the products from Germany are perceived to be of a very high quality. In many countries, German products rank at the first place. Actually, made in Germany is ranked first, second or third in a total of 28 countries currently. So no country actually scores higher in quality, security standards and authenticity than in Germany. In the terms of competitiveness, Germany takes out of 140 countries worldwide the 3rd rank. Global competitiveness is an index. It includes lots of indicators regarding infrastructure, ICT, macroeconomic stability, and the like. And it's a set of institutions, policies, and factors that determine the level of productivity of economy. So highly competitive economies indeed are more productive and have a higher chance of a long-term prosperity than less competitive economies. So why actually studying in Germany? You have seen Germany has a pretty comfortable situation regarding its economy, standard of living. What I didn't tell you so far, Germany actually has a strong export-oriented economy. So more or less, we're pretty much dependent on exports to other places in the world and to a smooth running of international business. But doing international business, you do need as well people who are able to work on an international level. And when looking at the company expectations regarding graduates in the global market in Germany, that means simply that German companies, they need people who know how to work on an international market floor. So getting an international education, that's something very sought at when German companies are recruiting. So on the other side, Germany is also a growing old society. There's a demographic change. And if you look at the line of Germany, which is the blue one over here, we are currently here in 2019. So the ratio of population aged older, elderly than 65, so 65 plus, per 100 population aged between 20 and 64, so in the age or in the working age actually, this ratio is at almost 40 for now, but it will raise to more than 60 within the next 30 years. So the population in Germany is getting older and older. This actually is a problem for the German society. We have a growing deficit of high qualified potentials due to the demographic change. And already up to 2030, so within the next 10 years, the working age population will drop by 4 million. So the shortage of managers, researchers, and engineers will become stronger. We notice it already today in some fields, in some industries, and because of that, and because of the fact that the German population is getting older and older, and there is a lack of high qualified people on the labor market. There is a high interest of recruiting more international graduates. So this is your chance. This is the chance which you may have when coming to Germany for your studies. It's a very attractive location for not only for the European Union, but as well for international students worldwide. And there are many different kinds of universities, all of which offer excellent quality. There are low tuition fees if there are, like for instance, in our state, up to 3,000 euro per academic year. If you compare that to Anglo-Saxon countries such as the USA, the UK, or Australia, where you find tuition fees between 10,000 euros up to 40,000 euros per academic year, which is a pretty high investment for your own future. You may compare, for instance, if you go to the USA or to the UK to pay tuition fees at the universities for 1 year of studies only. This more or less equals all the expenditures you will have for 1 year of studies, but not only tuition, but including as well accommodation, insurances, living expenses, and so on and so on. So don't be afraid, even if you don't speak German. There are many English taught study offers. I will come back to that in a couple of minutes. So the opportunity, for instance, when you have finished your bachelor, to join an English taught master degree, and this master degree will certainly open the door very widely to you to a truly international career, because German companies are looking for people with different cultural backgrounds, with the ability to speak several languages, and who know how to move and how to walk on an international business parquet floor. So there are indeed lots of career opportunities. I put here a link from GChat. They're talking again as well about the top benefits when studying in Germany. You may have a look at that later on. What I would like to say as well is, of course, those who might be interested can get in touch with me after the webinar. I will show you as well my email address later on, and then you may ask me questions or ask for some documents or links or whatever you would like to. So we are talking about there are lots of opportunities when coming to study in Germany, especially engineering, as I mentioned earlier on. The reason is simply Germany is the country of engineers, and here, especially in the south, we have many engineering companies, suppliers, for instance, to the automotive industry, and so on and so on. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a couple of minutes. So regarding the career opportunities, I put various links here again. Important links to my mind, for instance, the Make It in Germany, where actually you will find as well non-academic job offers, but as well some tools where, depending on your own background, you can find the conditions on what would apply to you if you intend to work, for instance, in Germany. The same goes a bit for the Federal Employment Agency, ZAV, and they provide consulting as well and explain various aspects to take care of when intending to move to Germany. Zeit Campus, it's a national biannual magazine with very interesting articles about studies and career in Germany, and it includes as well intercultural aspects. BW Career is, for instance, that's from our state of Baden-Württemberg. It provides related information to career opportunities in the state. And BW Jobs, that's the complementary website where you will find immediately job offers as well, where you could have a look to see what the companies do look for, and depending on your own background, you may estimate then as well, oh, why not planning or really seriously thinking at coming to Germany for the master degree, because I see that obviously there are companies who are looking for people with my background. So study in Germany as well provides you then with information regarding the first steps to prepare your studies in Germany, and to discover and experience Germany in videos, webinars, and tutorials. Of course, the German Academic Exchange Service, the DAAD, provides some information preparing for Germany when organizing your studies in Germany. There's as well what I found a so-called network from Indie alumni, that's German alumni who spent some time in India, and from Indian alumni who spent some time in Germany. They provide as well some nice hints and advices as well of cultural nature. So you can check all those sites, and when looking at the next point, why should you study at the German University of Applied Sciences? To explain that, you have in Germany two main types of different kinds of universities. That's the traditional universities, focusing more on, for instance, fundamental research and focusing more on theory, and you have about 113, 14 universities, traditional universities like that. On the other hand, you have German universities of applied sciences, and you will find about even more than the double of number of that, about 240 universities of applied sciences in Germany. And a German University of Applied Sciences, as it says in its name, it's more practice oriented. And so if for instance you like theory, you like fundamental research, then maybe and probably you might be better up with a traditional university doing fundamental research. However, on the other side, if you are more practice oriented and you like to experiment and to work on machines and to participate in projects, then probably you're better off with a University of Applied Sciences, because there you have the opportunity to get involved in projects. Very often the projects at universities of applied sciences are in cooperation with industry. And as well, most of the, actually more or less 90%, for instance, of the research, the applied research at our university is done in cooperation with industry too. So student workers have the opportunity to get involved in applied research, in practical projects, in real world projects of importance for companies. And by the way, at the University of Applied Sciences, all the professors, you cannot become a professor at the University of Applied Sciences if you don't have a long-standing professional experience. This, on the other hand, has got the advantage that a professor here at the university possesses him or herself a very good network with former colleagues from the former companies they were working on, or with customers they had to deal with. So there's a very strong link to industry when studying at the University of Applied Sciences. And in addition of that, there are even, besides the professors, there are lecturers from industry who are specialists in their field, working in particular areas, who teach as well at the Universities of Applied Sciences, and who are invited to give speeches and on the newest developments within industry within their field. So besides that, bachelor on the bachelor level, placements in industry are compulsory, and very often our students not only do a placement in industry, they do as well the bachelor thesis in industry, which opens already the door to a real job even before graduating. To see the structure of the German Universities of Applied Sciences, you see that we have 10 semesters. You need 10 semesters in Germany up to the master, and you may carry on with doctoral studies, PhD studies afterwards, of course. And compared to the traditional universities, those who are focusing more on theory and focusing on fundamental research, their bachelor takes 6 semesters only, whereas our bachelor at Universities of Applied Sciences takes 7 semesters, because we have this compulsory internship. So actually we have the same number of theoretical semesters, but we have 1 semester in addition with the internship. On the other hand, the masters at Universities of Applied Sciences take 3 semesters only, whereas at the universities, the traditional universities, the master will take 4 semesters. But at the end, graduates from one type of university or the other type of universities has 10 semesters of studies until the master graduation. So again, when intending, if you like to work or to study in a practice-oriented environment, then a University of Applied Sciences will be the right place for you. Let's come to the point, why studying at Aalen University in the southern part of Germany? Why should you come to us? I'll tell you a bit about this, of course. Let's locate first again where we are located. You see on the left side the map of Europe. You have Germany in the middle there, and you see already the state of Baden-Württemberg. In the southern part, besides Baden-Württemberg, you have Bavaria, that the 2 strongest states, economically speaking, in Germany. And here you see the state of Baden-Württemberg in itself. So actually, why come to us or to another University of Applied Sciences, for instance, from the Southwest Federation, in which we are a member as well? Actually, Baden-Württemberg is a very innovative region in research and development. They spend a lot of money on research and development, and there's a very high standard of living, which is even above the average for Germany and much above the average for the European Union. When looking more precisely at the location of Aalen, you will find out that there are many global players in the neighborhood of the university. So actually, especially of course of the automotive industry in Stuttgart, you will find Mercedes, you will find Porsche, you will find BMW in Munich. And so there are lots of global players here in this region. And in addition to that, you will find many hidden champions as well. So actually the South is very strong economically speaking, and there are many companies which are on a world scale are leading, so to say, leading their own markets, which is why we call them hidden champions. You may never have heard of their names, but the products they are producing are, so to say, top of state of the art on the worldwide market. So to tell you a bit more, this might be attractive maybe for you, I hope so. Some facts and figures about the university. We have various numbers of bachelor offers and master study program offers. We have currently 61 nationalities studying at the university, and 10% of them are international. Regarding our profile in terms of education, we have 5 schools. We have a small school of chemistry. We have a very large school in the field of mechanical engineering and material science. We have a school in optics and mechatronics. By the way, the location of Aalen is as well one of the headquarters of the vision optics company Carl Zeiss. And actually the CEO is part of the head of the board of governors of the university. We have as well a school of electronics and computer science, and we have as well now the largest school in management and business sciences. We are doing pretty well in terms of rankings on national level within the field of the universities of applied sciences. That's pretty much similar like in the UK. You have the old universities in the UK and the newer universities, the former polytechs in the UK. You have very often separate rankings because those types of universities are simply different. So there are other criteria playing a role when scoring the performance of the universities. So we are in the top 5, top 10 in that case regarding business studies, electronics, mechatronics, mechanical engineering on a national level. Within the teaching indicators ranking of the international multi-rank, we're even scoring better. There you have all the German universities, traditional ones, and the universities of applied sciences. And in the field of business studies, Aalen is one of the top 10, and in the field of mechanical engineering as well. And as I said, you find as well the traditional universities in this type of ranking and universities of applied sciences. So again, some arguments for why not studying here with us. So to tell you a bit about the aspect of research at our universities, I go quickly through those slides. We are doing quite well in analytical and organic chemistry. We are doing quite some research in advanced materials and manufacturing, where actually we have an English taught, no, actually in English, a research master where you can study with knowledge of the English language only as well. So a couple of pictures, what you will expect when coming to us. Advanced materials and manufacturing, and again advanced materials and manufacturing, 3D metal printing. Lots of research is being done with electron microscopy. We are pretty strong in die casting with very large laboratories, unusual even for university, and yeah, again die casting, but as well in the field of business, as well economic and social innovations in social change. We are doing research. We are doing research in intelligent mechatronic systems, and of course in photonics, in power engineering, power electronics, and in surface technology, and as well, of course, in the field of vision science. It's a very strong area here. It's called Photonics Valley, actually, and lots of optical companies are here in the region. We're currently building some additional research facilities. The buildings will be finished at the end of this year. So we will increase our research efforts in various fields like 3D printing, Industry 4.0, electromobility, and renewable energy. Further research fields, I go quickly through that. You may have the slides, as I mentioned before, so you can have a look at that by yourself in more calm. But as well, one point to mention, in Aalen on the campus, we have an innovation and a startup center. This is a space to strengthen actually the innovation power of companies and serving as an incubator for high-tech startup companies. Currently we have 50 startup companies on the campus, and some of them are really doing very, very successfully, having already turnovers of more than a couple of millions of euro. So they're doing really well. Some example, maybe a funny example, one of our students developed a new type of gin, which actually had been awarded last November of being the world's best gin for gin tonic. This in the home country of the gin, in the UK, in London. So that's really an achievement. And besides that, for instance, we have some students who invented an airbag for smartphones, and it's incredible, but I even get inquiries from China. They would like to produce that. So from all over the world, there's an interest in that. So our students and graduates are doing pretty successfully, and we are supporting our students to develop as well their startup thinking, so that they may go successfully and may start their career. When studying at Aalen universities, maybe a couple of information regarding the services and facilities we are offering. Of course, we assist with accommodation, we provide orientation sessions, we offer German language courses. Our language center is a test staff center and an ETS of the Educational Testing Service from the United States, the Tonic testing center. We are offering individual counseling. We are organizing cultural events, offering intercultural trainings, doing excursions to companies, networking events with companies. We offer application trainings and provide, of course, as well, career counseling and mediation when you intend to look for a job here. A couple of examples of programs for integrations. There are links as well, so you may check them by yourselves later on to get an impression how we are taking care of our international students. By the way, when coming to Aalen, you will have, currently we have about 50 to 60 Indian students as well studying in various programs of Aalen University. So you won't feel, you certainly will feel at home and will meet as well fellow students from your country. We have the offer of student dorms, different types of which are pretty nice, very close to the university. So life is actually cheaper than in larger cities like Berlin, Munich, Hamburg. You need to invest much more. So you have more value for your money in a smaller city, where on the other hand, you will be quickly with public transport, train and so on, and buses, long distance buses, you can travel quickly to other places all over Europe. Here, as I mentioned before, you have contact data from our international office, from as well my email address if you would like to get in touch with me later on. Please feel free, you're very welcome. When talking now about the admission requirements, the question had been asked a couple of times. So let's see that maybe in a more general way, how to apply successfully to a German university. So first, please, you need, of course, to think thoroughly at the fact what is your own background. So of course you need the right background for the right study program you intend to apply for. Somebody, for instance, who has studied chemical sciences, a bachelor of science in chemistry, might not really be the perfect match for a master degree in chemical engineering. That's a bit different. So you need to have a look at that. So you need to do, secondly, actually a research to research well which offers are being made. There's a very good database from the German Academic Exchange Service where you will find a listing of all international programs taught in English, and where all the particular admission requirements are defined. So they're actually varying from program to program. Third, you need to know that most universities, of course, expect a so-called entrance mark according to the German graduate grading system, which is equal or better than the German 2.4. German grading system, as a short explanation, 1.0 is the best mark, 4.0 is the lowest mark, passing mark, and actually a university, when you apply to it, they will recalculate your CGPA or your percentage score you got for your bachelor degree. They will recalculate it into the German system. I have put over there the formula, so you may calculate for yourself, will I fulfill the requirements or not. Some universities, of course, between 2.5, that's so to say the middle of the range from 1.0 to 4.0. So normally they expect 2.4 and better. But depending on the programs, it might be even more than that. It might be 2.2, it might be 1.9, whatever. So I have put a couple of examples so you may calculate by yourself what is the score I would reach when in terms of the German grading system. But please take care when doing that. You have differences, of course, when you calculate. You have a maximum score in your grading system, you have a minimum score, and sometimes the minimum score in your system is to obtain the degree is not the same minimum score to pass an examination. There's a difference. And the same goes for the graduate point average system, the cumulated graduate point average system to obtain the degree. The minimum grade point to pass an examination might be different from the minimum CGPA to obtain the degree. So you need to take care of that. So in consequence of that, at the fourth point, on the fourth points, you should provide the university you apply to always with a graduation score CGPA, a consolidated transcript of records as well, containing all examination results, and a full explanation of the marking system of your bachelor degree. If you don't have that, please request it at your bachelor university. The reason is simply that, for instance, in India, you have many different types of grading and marking systems. So sometimes German universities don't exactly know how to calculate that, and they need full information. If they don't have that, you won't get admission. So to increase your chances to get an immediate admission, you should provide that right from the start. So the fifth point is, please pay attention to particular steps to follow within the application process. For instance, in our state of Baden-Württemberg, for universities of applied sciences like we are, you need, before sending all your documents to our university, you need to send all your documents related to school and studies before application to the chosen universities, to the so-called Center for International Students in Constance. They will provide you with a kind of a recognition, a validation of your degree certificate, and actually that's free of charge. So no problems with that, but you should encounter 3 to 4 weeks to get the certificate, which you should join to your other documents when applying then to the university. And depending on where you are applying, as I said, we have a total of 16 states in Germany, so it might be different from state to state. Sometimes some universities are relying on the national Uni Assist called procedure for application. You should check, and that's the point 2 I mentioned over here. You should check within the database of the DAAD, where you have the listings of the international programs, and you have the links to the respective universities offering them. And when going there on the websites of the universities, you will see exactly what they require, right? 6, as you know now, Germans like rule and order, so put your application documents together in a well-thought order. Don't forget anything what is required. Check the listings of documents to be joined when applying to a particular program, so that you don't encounter problems when applying to a German university. Because if your set of application is not complete and you reach the application deadline and it's not complete by the application deadline, it might mean that they are not considering your application, and that would be, of course, a pity. So in addition to that, regarding scholarship opportunities for international students, especially as well from India, maybe a short look first on the monthly expenses and average for a student when studying in Germany. You have different types of costs, of course. You have the rent, the food, public transportation, health insurance, you need that, and various spendings you will have. In average, actually the German National Student Association, they made a calculation a couple of years ago. They say a student will need around 819 euros per month. So when you look at the costs, what will cost the studies for me in Germany, on the example of Aalen University again, there is a compulsory contribution to the National Student Association. There is an administrative fee, there is a little fee for the student union, and there are some tuition fees per semester, right? And when applying for visa, when applying for visa, you need to give a proof to the German embassy or the German consulate, to give a proof that you have the means to finance, if you go for 1 semester, maybe as an exchange, that you have the means of a bit more than 5,000 euros. And when you go to study for a degree in Germany, they will ask you for the means of being able to finance yourself at least the first year. So they will ask for a sum of 10,236 euros. That's the new sum which will be valid starting September 1st, 2019, which means that you will need, for instance, to open a blocked account at the German bank, like Deutsche Bank or, for instance, Fintiba. You will find that on the website, and you provide the proof to the German embassy or consulate that you have opened this blocked account and that you have put that sum, and then you don't have any problems to obtain your visa. Of course, you need the admission as well from the university you applied for when applying for the visa. Right? So regarding scholarship opportunities, the most important link in that matter is certainly the DAAD scholarship database, where you find all kinds of information about scholarships, programs, not only from the German Academic Exchange Service, but as well from other institutions and foundations. A very important scholarship opportunities as well, the so-called Deutschlandstipendium. That's a special scholarship which is provided by German universities themselves. And it is actually open to international students, but you need to check, depending on the university you choose, the program you have chosen, you need to check with the concerned university how is their procedure to apply for that. On our case, for instance, it's meant that you need to apply in August. There is a call for applications made in spring, early summer, and then you need to apply in August for the following academic year. So you need to check that for each university you applied for. As well, here a couple of examples of scholarship programs, depending on your status. Maybe, for instance, if you are still studying with an Indian university currently, and this university has some collaboration in the field of Erasmus+, then they might have an Erasmus project, and then within the frame of this project, you can go to Germany as well as an exchange students, and there will be scholarships provided. You need to inform yourself, for instance, at the international office of your university. Furthermore, as I mentioned, you will find in the DAAD scholarship databases as well scholarship offers from other organizations, like, for instance, from political parties in Germany, Heinrich Böll, Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. And when looking at those programs offered, you should check that very thoroughly. What is your own background? What are their criteria? What is the philosophy of the scholarship offered? Is there a match with all that? You need to check that, of course, before applying, because if you're not doing that, you may spend a lot of time to prepare the documents, and actually you're not fulfilling the criteria for whatever reason. That would be a pity, so you should check that before. You will find, once you have decided to go to Germany and to prepare yourself as well to your journey to Germany and to organize that, you will find some interesting information on the Facebook site from DAAD under the link I gave down here, DAAD India. So maybe to summarize, whatever you are going to decide, if you would like to go for studies in Germany, you are certainly very welcome. You will be very welcome here in Aalen. In case you would like to undertake an engagement at and with Aalen University, we would be happy to receive your application. You will actually never drive alone with Aalen University. As well, you will never walk alone, and you even won't take a coffee by yourself. There are always nice fellow students to meet with and to make friends for life. Actually, it was an Indian professor who told me some I think 20 years ago, he told me, Pascal, always go for the extra mile. So that's the advice I give to you as well. Try to have an international education. It would be nice to come to Germany. You have lots of opportunities over there, and keep on going. You never know how close you are. Never give up on your dreams. And actually, we may see again if you are perseverant. And in any case, I wish you good luck and all the best to all of you. So thank you very much for your attention.